Hi, 皆さんこんにちは. Hi, I'm Terumi Kai, CEO of Japan Language Factory. So today I'd like to talk about one of our students. He is living in Japan for over 20 years and married with a Japanese wife. And the communication between Japanese wife and him, he's from United States, is everything English. And they have 2 children, and inside family is everything English, but between the wife and children communicate only in Japanese because they are living in Japan. But why this American student couldn't learn any of Japanese? Like I asked him, do you know how to say how have you been to the neighbors? And he just even didn't answer. He actually literally never communicate with even neighbors properly 20 years in Japan. So, I'd like to talk about what is the core problem of this. There are actually many factors here. So first of all, mainly he's working in the company, which is international company. So when he goes to the job from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., it's 100% English environment. And this is actually the big factor, which is it's almost all day long he's using English, even he's living in Japan. One. The other two is, of course, inside the family, because he cannot understand Japanese, everybody's speaking English for him. Understand? It's everybody helping him. So that's why inside the family also, again, 100% English. But the problem is, between the children and the wife is speaking Japanese because that's more efficient because they are living in Japan anyway. They are Japanese also. So of course, what's happened is he didn't understand what they are talking exactly. He didn't understand for 20 years inside the family. That's also one of the factors. Okay, and the question is why 20 years passed? Why we couldn't improve 20 years ago? This is actually common things happening as an international couple. I also have international relationship experience. I really understand, between child and husband and wife and even the family and even the school things. It's more complicated, when you are living in the international environment, of course. But you can really improve. As an education-wise, of course, the children, should learn, of course, 2 languages, but also as a family, should learn 2 languages because that's your decision 20 years ago, right? You married with the international person. So, of course, why 20 years pass and why these things happen and ignore this problem for 20 years? So, we need to find out this actual reason. So one of the reasons is, of course, it was difficult to learn Japanese. Learning Japanese is really difficult. Anyone have tried before. And this one of our American students also have tried a lot, like Duolingo and also textbook. And also, there are language schools, college course. There are tons of actual material. It doesn't mean you can be fluent tomorrow. So, I always say, yeah, I wish the Japanese language could be much easier language. But the reality is Japanese language is one of the most difficult language in the world. So that's also the biggest factor, right? It's difficult language. Even you really want 20 years, couldn't manage until even how have you been to the neighbors. So what we should do is to change your learning structure. And also, of course, discuss this relationship problem inside a family. What we can do, of course, like the children and the wife should be able to actually help not only speaking English, right? You can actually still invest learning Japanese and also learning English together. But also as a husband, one of my students, need to really find what is the best and easiest way to learn Japanese. Because it's, he is working for 8 hours, 9 hours per day. If you just use the basic textbook, It's definitely need 5-6 hours per day, a lot of dedication, discipline, which is almost impossible to invest 5 hours per day because it's the most difficult language, right? So you need to find out the other way. The best is like a 5 minutes or 10 minutes investment, and actually tomorrow you have some progress, which is an amazing learning structure we need to find out. So in Japan Language Factory, it's been more than 7 years. We have seen 100 of students has amazing result. It's simply what we are providing is the most natural way to learn the language without even textbook, without even the kanji learning, hiragana, katakana learning, and without even a grammar structure. Like we don't need to even really focus on what is a verb, adjective, noun, what is a particle, what is actually the article. We don't actually dig into the grammar too much because you, as a native English speaker, you really didn't dig into the grammar side, but still you're fluent in English. Anyone can be a fluent without actually investing too many hours with the analytical side, right? So what we do here is how Japanese children learn Japanese when they are 3 years old, 4 years old, without any millions of material. So there's a way. So time investment, just 10 minutes, or you can actually really more focus on your pronunciation. For example, do you know how to say how have you been? In Japanese, it's genki deshita or genki deshita. So there is actually the way you say, but also you need to more focus on the pronunciation if you really want to communicate. So we actually more focus on pronunciation and also intonations. For example, which one is correct? Genki deshita or genki deshita or genki deshita. So it's all different intonation. So you need to more focus on what is a natural way to communicate, because it's otherwise how have you been or how have you been or how have you been is all different. So because it's you're focusing on too much book actually study, maybe your intonation or pronunciation is wrong and the communication never even start, right? So there's a way to actually invest your time. It's more short time, more actually effective way to learn. So first, what you need is how much you want to improve your life in Japan. Next 10 years, try to really think, what is the next 10 years of your life? The relationship-wise, social circle, even the job in Japan, opportunity to be a like even TikToker or a YouTuber, or even you can actually start your own business. There are tons of opportunity is waiting for you if you're actually seriously thinking about your future next 10, 20 years. And if actually the Japanese language communication skills is your objection, definitely now you need to focus on that. Let's enjoy the life in Japan then.